Good morning, this is Jen, the Liberty Lion. Today, Constitution of the United States of America, a republic form of government, a republic within the states. I believe it's Article 4, Section 4. The United States, in other words, the military, shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or of the executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. So we're going to talk about this today, and I'm going to show you what I believe is proof that will help us understand that the Republican form is in each state and that the Constitution doesn't provide the Republican form, even though it may be a Republican form of government. The Constitution does not provide a Republican form of government to each state in the Union at the seat of government. So the Constitution doesn't provide the states a Republican form of government individually. It provides them a Republican form of government militarily. And that within each state is a Republican form of government. So is this a form of doublespeak, or are we just misunderstanding what the founders intended? Because when you read this section, you can misunderstand it. There's something called your first response to something, and then there's something called your more deeper, thoughtful response to something or understanding of something. So when you first read this, you might think, especially if someone has conditioned you to think that this means the Republican form is one government at the seat in Washington, D.C., and that's the Republican form of government. But when you look through the state laws and when you start to understand the limitations of the government and you start to understand where the government exists and the powers between the state and the federal government, you'll understand this Article 4, Section 4 differently. So really what it's saying to me is the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union individually, guarantees individually every state in the union. And why do I think that? Because it's the governor who, when there's an uprising or a riot or an effort to overthrow the Republican form of government, the governor asks the legislature to send in the military to help against this domestic violence against the Republican form of government. Because a republic is a peaceful state. You can't have a republic and be constantly at war the way America is or the United States is right now. In my opinion, because the definition of republic is for the public good. So you would only go to war if it's absolutely necessary. So now when we read this, we can understand it as the military who has lands inside of every state that has joined the Union, controlled by the seat of government. Together, those military places are called the United States. And they are guaranteeing to come to our defense, the state's defense, individually, when there is any effort to overflow or overthrow a Republican form of government. So in other words, if a trustocracy or trustocrats come and take over the government the way they have, the military cannot be used to overthrow that government because it's not a Republican form. So if someone comes in and takes over the government of the state individually, and the governor calls the United States legislature to come and help keep the people from reestablishing the Republican form, the legislature cannot send in the military to help because they cannot be used for establishing a system in the states or protecting a system in the state that is not a Republican form. The military can only be used to protect the Republican form of government in the states. So when we think about the seat of government and the military are to be used to protect the Republican form of government, then this section takes on a different meaning. The United States, so the military, shall guarantee to every state in this union. So every state in this union, a Republican form of government, only one Republican form of government per state. You can't have several different Republican forms of government in one state. So to each state, a Republican form of government, protect each of them against invasion, foreign and domestic, from overthrowing those Republican forms of government within the states. Now we can go down and look at Article 2, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. That's the Republican form. The free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So when the people are in the Republic, they have the right to keep and bear arms. But we don't claim to be in a republic anymore. We claim to be in the state of Texas, state of Oklahoma, state of Virginia, state of New York. We're not in a state of, we're in the republic of. Now we have this texture, Texas Jurisprudence, 3rd edition. I live in Texas, so this is what I have. If you want to see what's in your state's jurisprudence manual, you will have to go to your county library, county law library, and go and ask the librarian for the jurisprudence manuals. And see what it says in your jurisprudence manuals in your state under statehood. So if you understand that, first of all, the United States is limited to their military posts and places, or and the seat of government, and everywhere else is supposed to be a republic of some state, then this makes sense. And I messed up this by putting it too tall. Okay, so one, in general, now this is in the law books. This is in the Texas law books. It's right here. 3rd edition, that's the most recent edition. Although the government and laws of the Republic were held to be in force until the state government was organized on February 16th, 1846. Now let's understand this statement. The Republic of Texas laws were in force over the entire Texas area, all the Texas lands. The Republic of Texas laws were in force over all the Texas lands. But then when Texas joined the Union, it gave some of those lands to the United States, the seat of government, or to be used for military purposes. But when Texas joined the Union, the Republic of Texas was abrogated, meaning those laws no longer applied insofar as they conflicted with federal authority. So the federal government and Texas, the Republic of Texas, came to a agreement on what the federal government could do inside Texas, and that the laws of the Republic of Texas and military, when they conflicted, the military had priority. The military had authority or jurisdiction. So over the federal lands, the military posts that were given to the seat of government, all the federal laws applied there unless Texas, the Republic of Texas, reserved some rights over those lands, such as serving process. Now, we know that Texas did not sell lands to the federal government. They leased them, is what I understand. I've not seen that in writing, but that's my understanding based on things other people have researched. The Constitution and the laws of the United States were enforced in Texas immediately on its admission as a state. Now, this is more of that sort of doublespeak. You're going to understand it the way they tell you to understand it, because you understand it based on your first impression and your propagandized beliefs, the beliefs that you've been told to believe, and not the belief of what's actually in the documents, what's actually in the paperwork. So how I'm helping you understand this is by saying that the Republic of Texas still exists inside Texas, and that people have a right to choose their government. So you have a right to choose the Republic of Texas, and you have a right to choose the state of Texas. When you choose the state of Texas, you're choosing it by way of contract. So you're signing papers for a driver's license, which removes all your driving rights from Republic of Texas and giving you privileges in the state of Texas. And this is why the police come and, give you tickets. They stop your car. They make you pay a tax, which is your registration. They make you pay all these things. They give themselves rights over you. They give themselves rights over your private property, your vehicle. They have a whole different set of words and what those words mean, such as driving. So if you're driving in the Republic of Texas, the police have no right to stop you. If you're driving in the state of Texas, the police have a right to stop you, and they have a right to do a whole bunch of other things to you because you've agreed by contract. You've signed their forms to get a driver's license. So you have a registration sticker on your vehicle. You have a license plate on your vehicle. And then when they stop you, they have proof of jurisdiction over you as a person because you hand them a driver's license. Okay. And so it's the same way with a lot of different things, your taxes. People say, well, we have to pay a tax. It's in the Constitution. Well, no, it's not in the Constitution that you pay a tax, because this is an agreement between the military and the states when they collect as a single unit and call themselves the United States of America. Now, if your state wants you to pay federal taxes, that's one thing. But to say that you have to pay a federal tax and you're signing a federal form and you're paying it to the United States, that's outside of their jurisdiction. People say, yeah, but taxes in the Constitution. The Constitution is an agreement between the military and the states, because the states created the military. And the military says, well, we have to pay for all this stuff. And so when the United States of America writes a law for the United States, which I showed you in a previous video, that law has to come with money to carry out the law. And then the United States, they keep a log of where the money went, how they used it, and how they complied with the law sent to them by the United States of America, how they spent the money complying with those laws. Okay, so real short video, Republic of Texas, That's what I wanted to show you. You can find this document as well as this one that I created on my community chat or my community post on my channel. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and especially sharing. You can share on your Facebook or whatever other platform you have. You can screenshot these documents, and you can do that, and I have no problem with it. Sharing is promoting freedom, sovereignty, and liberty. Okay, so have a great day and share, share, share.